All right, so here's what we're going to do with the Conductivity Lab. We have several solutions. We have some alcohol, we have distilled water, different from tap water. You're going to have different parts. We're going to have tap water that just comes out of the sink, and we are going to make a couple of solutions. We're going to make a sugar water solution and a salt water solution, and we're going to test each with the conductivity meter. So what we're going to use are these things these are called watch glasses. This isn't exactly what they're made for, but it'll work nicely for what we're going to do. The first thing that we want to do is take your watch glass and you want to rinse it out with distilled water, just a little bit. We don't want to be wasteful. I didn't grab my paper towel, so I'll just use this old shirt. And just kind of rinse that, give it a nice good scrub with paper towel. If this doesn't get clean, it could affect our results, so you want to be careful. What you're going to do then is you're going to take whatever solution that it is you're going to do. If you're going to do alcohol or whatever, you're going to grab that, use a clean dropper, and you're just going to squirt a few drops in there, just enough to kind of cover the bottom. You don't want to waste a lot. It doesn't take very much. And then you're going to take your conductivity tester, make sure that it's turned on, and then we're going to test it. I'm not going to show you the answer. I don't want you to see what happens with the lights because I want you to do that in the lab, so I'm going to turn it off. But when you do this, you're going to want to make sure to get both of the prongs into the alcohol without getting it all the way up to the actual circuit itself, because that'll wash it out and that'll make it so that everything conducts and it'll mess up your experiment. When you're done with that, take your paper towel, clean that off really well from the top to bottom. Don't push that solution up into the circuit. Pull it down like that and get that clean. And then you can either dunk that down the sink, or you can rinse it off or whatever and start with your next. If you use this for alcohol, do not use it again for any of the other solutions. Give it to another group that's going to use alcohol, or just throw it away. It seems kind of wasteful, but these are pretty cheap. And whenever you get to, so do the alcohol that way, do the distilled water, just squeeze it in there, make sure it's rinsed first. Tap water, you don't need very much, just a few drops, so that should be plenty. You don't really need very much at all for this stuff. When you do go to make your solutions, you're going to make a salt water solution and a sugar water solution. You're going to make those out of the distilled, not the tap. We'll see why that is later. So get it nice and rinsed off. Put a little bit of distilled water in there. And take a clean scoop and take your sugar or your salt. You do this exactly the same way. Just put a good scoop in there so you're sure you got plenty in there. And you can actually use a pipette to stir it up with. Just try to get it as dissolved as you can. It's not going to look completely dissolved necessarily when you're done. You can squeeze it in and out. Just try to dissolve it as best you can, and then do your test. That should be ready to test like that. And then you'll do the same with the salt. Just make sure to rinse your watch glass in between each time. And wipe it off with a fresh paper towel. And then answer the questions on the paper, do what it says in the procedure, but that's how you do it. So that's it. Good job.